all right, you really don't need alcohol to have a good time and go on a night out. You really don't really need it. And last Thursday was an example of why I don't need it for me. Now, I've been not struggling with alcohol recently. I'm not an alcoholic, but I've been trying to quit it for good for a while. And I've gone about 2 weeks, a month in between without drinking. Something always comes up and I end up drinking. Usually I go out with the intention of not drinking, and then as soon as I'm out, I get a trigger immediately, and it's a lager and it's a pack of 20 Marlboro cigarettes. I don't really smoke that much, but when I'm drinking, I smoke. And more recently, it's not been that much, but I have like a couple pints, and I still feel terrible the next 3-4 days, and my output is diminished basically. And the most recent one was I had a couple pints, went out with my mate, and it just wasn't worth it. And I went out this Thursday, and I decided I wasn't going to drink at all, and I didn't. And I was having Guinness Zero, decent, Heineken Zero, disgusting. But anyway, I just went out to see my friend around Christmas time, just chop it up, speak like politics, philosophies, things I like to talk about, and just having a bit of fun. And we walked around, went to a few pubs, and my local town was basically dead. But the night took a bit of a twist. I ended up meeting a work crew who were out on their Christmas do. And if you've ever been sober around drunk people, it's a very interesting kind of environment to be in. As when you're drunk, you don't really notice that other people are drunk, you're just kind of in the vibe. But when you remove yourself and you become sober, it's almost intolerable. It's almost a spectacle. It's quite comedic, actually. And in the situation, I had a woman who was hitting on me very hard, and kind of wouldn't leave me alone for the whole night. And I wasn't really that interested, to be fair. But she kept following me, and I was being nice, I was being a gentleman. And it was funny to see how people act when they're intoxicated. And we ended up going out with this work crew who were on their Christmas do, and we had a good time. We got talking, chopping up with them, and it was interesting. It was good, but it made me realize to socialize, have a good time, and have an eventful night, which I did. You don't really need to be drunk, and you're probably better off being sober. Now, I didn't find myself as talkative and as charismatic as it can be when I'm drunk, although I can be very charismatic when I'm sober as well. But keeping your social battery definitely does run out when you're not drinking alcohol and you're on a night out. That's the one thing I would say. But this was the first time where not the first time, handful of times where I've been able to go out and not drink for a prolonged amount of time. Went out around 7, finished around 12. The only thing I did succumb to was smoking a few roll-ups, which I do regret now. But I was quite proud of myself that I didn't drink. And the next morning I felt fine. I felt great. Even though I had a bit of lack of sleep, I was able to pick up the next day and kind of carry on. So I challenge anyone who's trying to stop drinking alcohol and still be very social to give it a go. I'm quite a social person when I'm not drinking, when I'm in the office, when I've been in an office environment before, just on the street talking to random people. Once I get in the swing of it, I love it. I love it. Love socializing with people, and I think it's a great almost test to go out and see if you can be as social as you would when you're if you was intoxicated, and really build your social skills sober. I think that's a really great thing to do, and it really just gives you the ability to just approach anyone. I've noticed really recently I've been a bit more social than I have in the past, and every time I talk to someone, if it's a different person, if it's a girl I see, or if it doesn't really matter what it is, if I initiate a conversation, it makes the next person easier and easier to build conversations, and it just gives you a bit more confidence and charisma going forward, which I've found, and given me the motivation to make this video. So yeah, if you're trying to not drink at the moment and thinking that you can't go out and have a good time, if you can control yourself and not drink around people who are drinking, give it a go, see how you get on. The only thing I would say is your social battery will get drained a lot quicker, and your tolerance for nonsense from drunk people is a lot higher. A lot lower. That's the only thing I would say. But it's an interesting environment to be in, and it definitely will build your social skills. So yeah, anyone looking to do it, not drink, go out, still socialise and have a good time, it's definitely doable. Give it a go.